This meeting to order of the Lincoln County Board of Education, meeting in regular session on Tuesday, February 27 at 6 p.m. and we are at the county office in Hamlin. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Don Davis to lead us in the pledge. Assistant Superintendent.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. I assume no public comment and presentations and reports. We have any tonight?
You want me to do this now or?
Your other. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, all right. Mr. Bell, all of you have a copy of, what we've referred to as our Lincoln County Schools Plan to address deficiencies in our, K through, 8 grades. And, Ms. Shortridge and her team and I, we worked on this and, got it together pretty quickly. It's, we called it DEAR. It's, drop everything and remediate. And what we're doing with it is utilizing iReady and the WVGSA resources. Teachers will group students by deficiency. They'll take one class period per day in addition to the current plan they already have in place. This is in addition to deliver resources outlined in the iReady diagnostic. Principal will have the autonomy to schedule this. This will be rolled out to K2 next week and 3-8 the following week because of writing assessment. Now, what it does, the iReady program through the diagnostic, it breaks the students down into deficiency levels anyway for the students, even down to the student name. These 5 students are deficient in this skill. These 6 students are deficient in this skill, regardless of grade level. So what we put together.
Now, wait a minute, but regardless of grade level, now who does this go to? The principal who then goes to
the teachers.
So it does go to the teachers.
Sure
So
does.
everybody in the schools goes to each teacher?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep, it does.
okay.
So we can, and if you look there, we've done a diagram of how they can get into each program. On the first page there, one on is tools to address what they call unfinished learning. And then for reading and math. And then there's a teacher toolbox that has all kinds of instructional materials. So if you turn to the next page, this is just an example of one grade level. This is just 3rd grade.
Okay.
But it'll break it down to you there and you can see where it has tools for instruction, key ideas and details, and then it'll have step-by-step instructions on how to do it. Modeling, finding key ideas and details in the text. The lesson is scripted for them. Then you go on, flip over, and you'll see that there are actually sample lessons there. For example, talks about text, and then the students can actually work through this with the teacher. And again, this is just basically a sample lesson just to give you an idea of what it looks like for this is just language arts. And then the last 2 pages back there is a blueprint of what the test looks like. In other words, when you see that tells you like the minimum number of items that are asked on the test and the maximum number of items for each area. For example, solving problems in 4 operations, identify, explain patterns, and arithmetic. You can see that they they ask 4 questions for that standard on the general summative assessment. So those numbers over there on those columns will let those teachers know, okay, I really need to hit this hard because this is what's being asked of these students to do. So then that's the diagnostic for blueprint for math there in grade 3.
I see where it has the DOK range. Does it tell which questions are ranged with that? I see those ranges, but does it show where those are?
It doesn't, this particular blueprint doesn't, but if they go into the, to this iReady diagnostic here and they pull those questions, it'll show you which ones are the DOK on there. Like it'll say it'll say there's a maximum of DOK2, which is 22 questions.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where they probably
It
need
doesn't
to
tell you which
concentrate
22,
there.
which questions
But
are.
you don't know which one's
two.
which.
The iReady part of it will. These are 2 different animals.
Gotcha.
This came from the Department of Ed.
Gotcha.
The iReady department will tell you
The
what-
exact
the
question.
exact question
Okay.
or the exact type of question,
Yes.
not the
Yeah.
exact question.
That's awesome.
So then there's another blueprint on the back for English language arts, which does the same thing. It gives everybody a map. I haven't rolled this out to the principals yet. I've talked to a couple and they really like the idea. And what'll happen is, in addition to what they're doing already as interventions, one class period a day, every day. And it could be a different class period. I'm giving the principals the autonomy to schedule it. And then Joni's team will be the ones monitoring it and reporting back to us if it's not being implemented with fidelity. There's a difference between implementing and implementing with fidelity. And so they'll report back to us. And then they can have one class period a day. Today it might be in the social studies class. Tomorrow it might be in the English class. The next day it might be in the math class. So they don't have the same period being interrupted every day. But at that point, it does exactly what it says. They drop everything they're doing and remediate. So this is kind of a kickstart to get us moving. And then by starting it now, next year, if we have this in place, and we'll make tweaks to it as we move along to see how it's going to work and then what kind of changes we may need to make to it once we go along. Once that happens, then next year, after that first diagnostic, we can hit the ground running.
So this is their learning year. It's
The
their year to learn how to do it.
You weren't sure. I don't know if you got on and watched the
No.
video from last board meeting, but, Joni Shortridge, gave us a recap of the iReady scores, for January, early February, mid-year scores. And, the scores were quite alarming.
Oh.
1/4 of our kids in K through 8 were approaching or meeting or above their grade level. 1/4 of the kids were 3 or more years behind. Half of our kids were either 1 or 2 years behind. And we talked to the board last week how I used the word crisis. This is a crisis situation, and we needed to remediate those students on their skills. We couldn't just pass them on
To the next grade.
without doing something else because they just keep getting farther and farther behind. Mr. Barnett worked on this weekend, him and Jody Shortridge, and I don't know who else, but they put a lot of effort into this. I think this is a great plan to start, and I thank you for giving it the attention. We all have been in the school system and have worked hard to improve scores. But we never had a tool like iReady where we can actually diagnose what's
Yes.
going on. It gives us a way to treat kids for what ails them, so to speak.
And what
And,
specific thing?
So I think this is a great start. We're doing it now. I impressed upon Mr. Barnett last week that we needed to do it now. We've got 2.5 months left, and if we don't do something, they're falling farther behind when we start up next year. And so I congratulate Mr. Barnett. In the time that I've ever been connected with the school system, I think this is the most focused academic direction that Lincoln County Schools has ever gone in. We kind of did stuff and hoped it worked. We're focusing on illness, academic illness, and trying to get it better, trying to
Now,
treat these kids.
will we do this in a general, everybody come to get the learning, or will we do it school by school, which is meaningful to that school?
Each school will have its own needs.
Yeah, and will we go to them and present just to that faculty and just to them their needs?
It's already done for them.
Okay, but
already
but
done
are
it
we
for them.
gonna make sure we have somebody from
That's
the
what
central office?
They're doing it now.
Okay,
They're doing it now. Mrs. Shortridge team,
okay,
they're actually right now. They're hitting our hot spots.
okay.
And they're out, they've been out and about every week, every day this week, except for this evening. They were here till about 6 this evening going over textbook things, but and we've gone and created to where, like on the very back page here, you can see that it shows them step by step how to create the
Because
tools.
if we don't
to
get
go
it
in and
to
fix.
them, who are in the classroom with those kids, and they know what they need to do. We're just
Yeah.
still not doing what we need to do. So they have to understand that, each teacher, and they have to know the whatever their kids are doing after we give the test. And maybe this is wonderful, but does it give them enough?
It gives them everything that we have at our disposal to diagnose what these kids need and how to address it.
And so we're doing it at school level with the teachers and the administrator at each school individually.
Yes.
Perfect.
So, Mr. Barnett, it's really another chance to remediate using the tools that we already have, arranging more time in the schedule each week
Correct.
to do more in reading and language arts and math
Correct.
Yes.
without dropping
Anything.
answer.
No, no. This
Completely,
is in addition to,
right.
and what this is a, for lack of a better word, this is a non-negotiable medicine, so to speak. This is one of those that it's a non-negotiable. We all do it and we get better.
Is it K-6 or are we gonna take it K-8?
This is K-8.
Okay,
So it is a scheduling remediation
It's a
also.
schedule, right?
yes.
Yes.
I think this coupled with students being able to, parents being able to sign out their iPads for students during the summertime. And if their teachers can give them a focus on the different programs that Joni explained last week that are available, that they can actually work on their math or on their reading during the summertime with that iPad that they've got. This kind of makes a continuous thing of learning. We've got the K-5 summer schools that's available voluntarily as kids would come to it. But we're putting a tremendous effort and emphasis on academics here. And I'm just proud of you guys for doing it.
Yeah.
I'm proud of proud of the work that you all do. It's my pleasure to be associated with you. Mr. Lucas back there got a handle on this finance thing, and if we don't have enough money, he prints it. And he's he does a great job in the finance area. And I think he knows that we'll always question and badger him and whatever, but he needs to know that he's doing well. And you, Mr. Barnett and Mr. Davis and Joni, the whole staff, we're focused. And I'm pleased with where this county is at the moment. If we can pull off and show some improvement here with this remediation, and remediation is the only way we're going to show improvement, period. The one other thing that I want to stress, it's a mindset, is that we've got to quit blaming parents when kids aren't learning. It's our job. We are funded by the taxpayers of the county to produce a viable educational system, whether the parent works with those kids or not. Now, obviously, we want them to work with them, but it's our job. We've got to do that. No excuses. And
Every
I'm just
classroom,
pleased
every day.
with you. I just very pleased with you.
Thank you very much.
Good
It's a
job.
team. It's
Good
not.
job.
Oh, it is. It's every day.
It's not me, it's we.
If they come to, when they come to us, they have good language development. I agree with Mr. Bell.
If
We
they-
don't give up on them if they don't have the
No, we
language
do
development.
not. We
No,
do
we
not, but
We have to we
They
have
can
to get them
learn
how they come to it
so.
and educate
At
them,
a certain.
period.
Yes, indeed.
I tell teachers and principals all the time, they're sending us the best they have.
You're
That's
exactly
true.
right.
That's
And the
true.
most love that they have.
It sure helps if they help. So.
It sure does.
No doubt that's true.
It sure does.
It's our job. Okay, anybody got anything else on that?
So,
Once again, thank you, Mr. Barnett. We are ready to approve the minutes of the February 20th a special call and the February 20th regular meeting. Do I have a
I'll
motion?
make that motion.
Burns makes the motion.
Second.
Martin makes the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I forgot to welcome Mr. Wilson. He got off work late and just got here.
Here it is, safe and safe.
Thank you.
Number administrative, 5.5 is administrative items. Any discussion?
It's good to see other folks coming from other counties back to us.
I'm sorry.
On D, it's good to see other folks coming from other counties back to us.
Yeah,
Yes, I like that too.
Yeah.
Lenny.
absolutely. All right, no discussion. Do I have a motion?
So
moved.
Snyder? Do I have a second?
Second.
Wilson? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Finance,
I have two quick questions.
okay,
Austin, on this, okay, on the front page, Daughtery Company Incorporated Building Improvements. Do you know what that is?
That's Hamlin pre-K HVAC construction.
I thought it was the HVAC. Okay. And National Archery, NASP National Archery.
National Archery, I'm not entirely familiar, but I believe that supplies the ROTC program.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
That's correct.
that's all I have.
any other discussion on finance? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move.
Martin makes the motion,
Second.
Wilson seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Unanimous. Under personnel, any discussion? I'll just comment on item G. Heather Sampson is resigning from the Transportation Department. She's got another job that she's going to be taking. Heather has
With the
done an
school system?
extremely important and valuable job for the Lincoln County school system. Hate to lose her.
So
Of
she's gonna
course, we
resign.
can't stand in the way of somebody getting a better job, so. If she's watching or hears of it, I'm bragging on her. Any other discussion?
Yeah, could Mr. Barnett, could you explain this Heather Roberts
Mhm.
split 2-3 FMLA date change extension?
Yeah, she was on a family medical leave and her doctor extended it.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're gonna have the same
It's just extended.
stuff that's there now?
Yes.
Okay,
is
good.
this?
No, not off the top of my head.
Anybody else? Not, I'll ask for a motion to approve personnel.
I'll make that motion.
Burns makes the motion.
Second.
Wilson seconds.
Snyder.
Snyder. I got my head down. I can't see who's doing it. Of course, you know I can't hear. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Brings us to the comments and concerns section, Duval Midway update.
Had pre-construction meeting yesterday and we had actually 2 meetings yesterday, a demo meeting and then a pre-construction meeting. Demo meeting, they're at about 65%. Everything is down except that one ramp area and there's like about the size of a knee wall that's got to come down. They're hauling things out of there now, cleaning up toward the farmhouse to move in so that phase 2 of the construction, they can move their construction trailers in.
Okay.
And get that set up. There's a permit issue that we've got to take care of. We don't have to take care of, the contractor does. The original permit from the original building expired. So they have to go back and instead of letting us do an extension on the permits, we have
Do
to
it
apply
again.
all over again. I don't think that's going to delay us any. But there's a clause in there. If they go anywhere over the 810 days that were originally, it's
It's
a
there.
$8,000 fine to them
Mhm.
per day. But they feel very confident they don't see an issue with it. And the folks from the Reclaim, the demo company, they think that they will be out by about mid-April. They don't have to be out to May 18th. That's when their contract ends, but they think they'll be out mid-April. And I'm just impressed. They've kept a very clean job site. that we've not had any kind of, they've got the, the barriers around all the drains and everything to keep any kind of dirt and debris out of there. And they've just done a really good job of keeping the site clean and neat as they move forward.
Frank, if they leave early, is that allowed phase two to come in early also?
Yes. Yes. And let's see, that's all I had on that.
All right, we're close to taking this off the agenda, aren't we? That's good. I've seen it on there long enough.
Oh, another thing too, Mark Miller from the SBA was at a meeting the other day. And I said, why don't you make a trip back up with me to the board office? I want to show you something. And he said, okay. So he came up with me and he hadn't been here. So I took him a walk around and showed him where the
The kids.
resiliency of this staff and these kids of what they've been through over the past 2.5 years. And he looked at me and I think he was going to tear up. He said, yeah, we absolutely had to get this done. We had to get it done.
Even though it's done well here, they need their school.
Sure they do.
Mr. Lucas, can you tell me anything about track?
Okay, yeah, he got an email from him, there yesterday, I believe it was. We should see anyway between March and April, it'll be done. They just have to have a good long stretch of 50-degree and above weather. Make it happen.
Okay.
They said they're monitoring it every day, so. It's like work that have been finished already, but they told us they don't see a single issue getting it done, like you said, by April, end of April.
And I spoke to the athletic director at Huntington High School today. And, in the event that it's not done, or in the interim between now and when it's done, our students are more than welcome to use the Huntington High track and facility like they always have. There's not an issue there. He said they're welcome anytime.
We need to send them a nice letter
Probably
about
10
that.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need to thank them.
we want to get ours.
So if they get to work, how many days, do they project how many days it'll take? A week?
And then probably the same amount of time to cure.
Can't go below freezing at night, and it has to kind of stay, I think it has to stay around 50 degrees or higher.
So about two weeks altogether.
Yeah.
If weather permits.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I'm excited to see that track there,
Be correct.
even though Bushy said we never have room to build it.
Well, I worried about that water getting up, I'll tell you, because I lived in Hamlin with Mud River.
Water's not gonna get over that.
I hope not. I pray not.
All right, anybody have any other concerns? If not, we can adjourn until Tuesday, March the 5th at 6 p.m. If we get a motion in a second.
Second.
Wilson makes the motion, Snyder seconds. Time is 6:23, one of record here.
I believe we have.
And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And this meeting is adjourned.